Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. On first down, it's Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
Watson, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the gun on third, Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Set. 18 Gator. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 9 carries, 69 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Here we go. 60 out now.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Get off the field, defense. Rock it. Target.
Smith. And his throw here's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But now it's third down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air. Because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Hey, Mike 51. Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Here we go.
Get it.
From the red zone now, Smith toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
Here's Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. These two teams all tied after 1. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson going deep here into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Smith. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, with a quarterback once, well, he actually...
19!
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Here's Watson going deep for... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. And even 40 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch. Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense led by George Kittle. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw is Smith. When he finds his target, it's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards that time.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
I'm going to come back to you.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now it's Watson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Set.
After the sack on 1st down, Watson dumping it off for Johnson. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Here's Smith. It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Smith. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Smith. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. So we have reached half. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the 2nd half. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got Fuller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get down.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the 2nd half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the 2nd half.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans cut into that lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just 1 play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Fielded about a yard deep.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Batting that one free defensively was Lonnie Johnson. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 18 yards, first down Niners.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. Past the 20. There he goes, right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. Here the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Going deep for Hopkins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To the air again, Smith. Being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys did not play offense.
2nd and 10, Smith again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Army. Ready.
Again, Smith. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Smith now to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. This is fielded at the goal line.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 3rd and short. The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different... way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Watson on first down. He finds his man Johnson. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kahale Waring. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And that touchdown there, it's not going to get them a win. It makes things, though, a little more respectable.
Yeah, a little more palatable going out in this ball game. A little something to build on going into the next game, but it won't alter the final score.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, In the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Smith throwing again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tim Williams. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. The Niners on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun, Smith. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Quan Alexander, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To try again after the sack. Watson, it's complete. Stills. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 23. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now, Smith. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 18 yards, 1st down Niners. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
It's complete to Fuller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the 40.